scale.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. Deborah Kobylt live today, and I've got a terrific guest in studio. Thank you for joining me. Lynnwood
My pleasure.
Bibbens. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Thank you. My applause is a little late on that one. We have an enormous studio audience here, and they're just clapping for you. They're waiting for the little applause sign. Anyway, you are CEO of Reach TV, which is pretty incredible. Would you tell me how many people are watching Reach TV?
In our airports, 33,250 people per minute. To give you an idea of the scale of our network, just in airports alone. Monthly, we're reaching over 100 million people.
Okay. When you and I first connected, I was in the airport on my way to Seattle with my son because he's going to be playing ball up there. And I looked up and there was Reach TV and I thought, oh, now this is meant to be. And then since then, I've become a little bit obsessed. Tell people who might not know, what is Reach TV and who's on it? What kind of programming?
Reach TV is a entertainment network for people on the go. Specifically,
Airports.
we wanted to break the television format because I think it doesn't lend itself to creativity.
It's boring. It's straight and narrow. You know?
And by the way, the way I consume when I'm traveling is not the way I consume when I'm at home. So what we always saw was a lot of repurposed television versus specifically programmed for me while I'm traveling.
So explain what that means.
So, for example, Law and Order is my favorite shows. But when I'm in the airport, I don't have an hour to watch Law and Order, right? So I would rather see just the law part, and just the order part, or something short form. So what we decided was, why not create a linear channel television network that features world-class short form content?
So what would you do, like, for Law and Order?
I would cut Law and Order up into the law part would be two episodes, the order part would be 2 episodes, and nothing would be more than 8 to 10 minutes.
How did you get the licensing? How were you able to do that? I mean, I know you're a real smart business guy, and we're going to get into your background, but that's a lot of work.
Well, we have a lot of content. We have a lot of great partners. We went the other way. We built a platform and we built a distribution. And when you have those two things and you have those guaranteed eyeballs, it's funny how many people with content want to come to your network.
Look, you got a lot of content. You've got Reach TV Sports. You've got Reach TV Entertainment, Reach TV Life and Style, Reach TV Business, so forth and so forth. This was your brainchild? I mean,
This is a combination of our team. Everybody had different skill sets. My co-founding partner came from a tech background where he was able to build widgets and create the little things. I came from a retail background. We have a team of people that came from the airport world as a concessionaire. So when you put all everybody's brain together, you come up with something that's pretty unique, with the goal of really being a entertainment network that's really a customer service network. My job in the airports is to get you to have another drink. I'm there just to entertain you for one more drink.
You did. I was glued to it. And it's funny you said that because it was at LAX, right? And I was at a restaurant bar. I forgot the name of it. But I was looking up and I was just glued to it. And I stayed there. And I had I didn't drink, but I had something else to eat. Yeah. And it kept me, sitting in my seat.
I'll give you an interesting stat.
Please.
We're in 84 airports in the U.S. and Canada. The revenue per month generated in those airports is over $800 million.
Can I come work for you?
It's not my money. I'm saying that's the revenue generated inside those airports. So when you start to think about the impact your content can have on the buying decision of someone who's sitting there entertained, it becomes really interesting, really fun, really fast.
Hang on, though. You must get a cut of that.
No, I don't get any cut of that. I focus on entertaining them because they're our partners.
But then how do you make your money? I mean...
we have multiple ways of making money. The biggest one is advertisers want to be across our network. Obviously, they want to reach that customer while you're about to make your buying decision.
Right. So who are some of your big advertisers?
Obviously, the people that products are actually sold there. So some of those are our biggest advertisers. But also, some of our advertisers are content partners because they want to get their content in the eyes of our customer.
That. Some of your content partners are the NFL. You've got CBS Sports. You've got Bloomberg. You've got Tribeca Films. You've got so many that you partner with. right?
Yeah. So we partner with a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. We run 9 original shows every day. We run
Wait, original shows meaning what? That you produce, or
we produce, co-produce, or original series that we've picked up from our partners, and we like to drop those in. So it's a nice original series. We have a show that we did called Framp Camp, which is like a sports training thing. So your son would love that.
I would love it. I'm a
he's
sports person. I love sports.
So that episode is called Framp Camp. That's one of the episodes that we produce.
And how long are most of these shows? Because you've got to get people while they're in and out, right?
So what we do is we feel like our average person sits in front of our TV 37 minutes. So even though they're in front of that TV 37 minutes, they don't realize it until it's 37 minutes later.
Wow,
so
they give themselves a lot of time at the airport because
the airports in general, if you went back to the beginning of why we launched this, 2010, I had a meeting talking about how airports wanted to modernize themselves. So in that process of modernizing themselves, they wanted to do 2 things. One, they wanted to make the airport a destination instead of a pass-through. So you got there earlier and you felt comfortable. And 2, they wanted to upgrade the experience and make it feel hyper-local, higher-end, food, beverage, restaurants, everything. So if you look at what used to be a concourse and just a walk-through and it was a just on a thing. They're now restaurant bars.
Yeah, it was a mess. I mean, in fact, you had to eat and do everything before you got there because my kids used to say, because we do a great deal of travel in our family, they'd say, there's nothing once we get there. Yeah. That's just not the case anymore.
Now it's I travel with my wife a lot. So normally our path is we go into the airport, we order a drink, we get some tuna tartare, and then right in front of us is every retail store you could ever I don't like it, but she's shopping the whole time.
And decent ones too.
Duty free. You have Mac stores. You have, I always think it's amazing that Toomey does so well because you're already in the airport. But people buy suitcases all day. I see them walking out with them.
But in a way, that's kind of me because whenever I go on a trip, I come back with too much stuff. Yeah. So I do need an extra. So it's speaking as somebody like me.
And you look at the newsstands, you look at the magazines. My wife does the same thing every day. Yeah. Every time we fly, she buys 3. We come into the airport, we sit at the restaurant bar. She'll inevitably go shopping, and then it means I have to go over there. And then she comes back, and before we get on the plane, she stops and grabs 3 mags, which she had then at the end of the flight gives to the flight attendant.
Right, to pass it along.
That's our path.
So in 2010, you met with various airports and whatnot to really modernize things.
Yeah, I was because of my background in tech and hardware for 20 plus years. I deployed over $2 billion worth of computers and consumer electronics across the U.S. and internationally. Wow. So when people wanted to deploy a new network or figure out ways to upgrade it, while I'm not a techie, I know what the tech needs, and I look at everything from a user interface. Like, how does it feel for us as a consumer?
How many platforms or stations or whatever do you actually partner with? Because as I was watching in the airport, I was stunned. I mean, there was Bloomberg. You had everything.
Well, we
program. Is it revolving?
It's revolving. We have a programming team that starts early in the morning and goes throughout the day. Our technology platform is our kind of our sneaky way in. We do everything by block. So you have a sports block that may have multiple different content. We have a weather block, a business block, a entertainment block. And sometimes we have a housing block that's cool. Shows about that. Our goal is that what will be the most entertaining thing for our customers, and we know. Somebody from Atlanta may want something a little different than somebody from Portland. It may want something a little different than somebody in New York. So we're very cognizant of who our customer is, where our customer is, and the way we deployed. We have a box behind every screen, I would call it like an Apple TV on steroids. Wow. But that box behind every screen lets me know exactly where that box is at all times. So we get real time reporting. And if I wanted to from my phone.
So if you put it on my TV, it would say Deborah is currently watching.
Or I could just say, I know where you were in LAX. I could actually take a picture of you and push it to that screen right now, sitting here. So that's kind of like the flexibility we have with the network because that's where technology's come. 5 years ago, that wasn't possible to do it at the scale we're doing it now. But where we are now with technology, we run an 84 airport network. So we're in 84 different airports. We can run that from one cloud-based system that we push to from one central location. We program all of them.
And also it's global on your phone. Yes. You don't have to be sitting in an airport bar, right?
No. I mean, one of the texts we did was once you started putting your wallet, when I say your wallet, meaning once your credit card went in your phone, to me, that's a sacred spot now. So if I'm going to go on your phone in an app, my credit card's there. So now what we focused on was how do we engage people without having to make them download an app? So we built reachtv.com as a mobile web application. So when you could go to reachtv.com, the first thing it asks you is what channel number, because in the airports there's an L bar and it has a channel number.
Right.
And if you don't want to be a programmer, you don't want to look up what you're looking for. All you do is hit the channel, and we have 10 other channels that you could just hit a button.
Right.
And it's
And for
pre-programmed.
example, it'll say Channel 2 sports.
And you hit that and it just
Channel
plays.
3 Home and Garden. I love Home and Garden television.
exactly.
Do you have anything like that for me? I
Yes.
love to sit at, you do?
All day.
Oh, I love it. I love to see like house hunters and all that stuff and people tearing down their homes and
We co-produced a show with a Hollywood Reporter called Where Hollywood Eats, which was an amazing show because the producer, which was a Hollywood Reporter producer, she did a great job in, it was a subtlety. I've never seen one of those shows where there wasn't a host. And this show has no host. The actual star is the food and then the chef.
No, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And I was amazed. And again, that show...
Well, she produced it, and instead of being in it, the star was what
with
you know.
the food. It's amazing, and we shot that in New York, Atlanta, L.A., Miami, New Orleans. So we did multiple cities. We're going to be doing another season with that. I mean, it's again we know what the holes are and where people want to see when they're traveling.
Right.
And our biggest thing, I would say for us, our differentiator beyond the fact of all the technology is our goal is to be nice. Not Vice, and I'm a Vice fan, but when I travel, we're just trying to keep you entertained, educated, informed, and have some fun.
Well, also, if you look at your Instagram, it says you're a man of faith, and so when you say nice,
Yes.
I did a little research on you, and it's you're a husband, and I noticed that you put all that first.
Yes.
Which that meant something to me because it says that you value.
I value
other things other than being as successful as you are.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you can't leave with this. So whatever you get in here, it doesn't really matter that much.
It's very true.
And for me also, I grew up everybody grows up their own different story. But at the end of the day, you have to look at how can you help other people. And sometimes, you can go all the way back to even what you're doing in business. When I say customer service, I really mean that. You think about what I see people in an airport, a lot of times they're stressed out. What you're trying to do is de-stress people out. You're trying to let them have a different little experience, bring a little bit of just levity
joy to the
what they're
airport
doing.
process.
Yeah. I mean, and I think they're getting better and better. I do think you're going to see more and more travel. It's expected to double in the next 10 years. So there's a lot of investment into them.
You know where I'd like to see you also as you're waiting in line to go through security. And if you don't have the fast pass to get through, you need to get it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're waiting there for hours. And you know how like in Disneyland they have the little like TVs to keep you entertained as you're going to It's a Small World? Yes. You need something like that. Would they do that? Little TVs to keep you occupied?
I think when as they grow and expand, and I think with new technology, 5G coming out, it'll allow us to start thinking about giving you stuff on your phone more. It's much easier. I think the entertainment process and people are getting more accustomed to different ways of consuming content. Mm-hmm. I think we'll adjust. Mm-hmm. Right now, we also have we're doing right now online. We partner with influencers, and we've been syndicating. Now we're over 100 million video views a month.
Wow.
So we're trying to find where our customer is and program content for them. I'm a big Netflix fan. But when I go home, we all, as a bunch of us, we all talk about it. My average time to find something I want to watch on Netflix is about 22 minutes.
To find it?
To find it, because I've become a programmer. Every time I'm like, I want to see that, I want to see that, I want to see that.
Well, to be honest, it takes me so long to figure out what I want. By the time I figure it out, I just turn it off. So it's...
And I think that's why you see when you go to reachtv.com, you'll see the pre-programmed channels. What we're trying to do is give you the opportunity that if you don't want to be a programmer, you could just click a channel and that's already pre-programmed for you.
I love this concept. Plus, you abbreviate it.
Yes.
So you don't have to go through the whole thing.
Yeah,
I like.
I think my partner coined this phrase one meeting we had, and I think it's apropos to what's going on in the world now. I think people either snack or binge.
Right.
Snack or binge.
Right.
So if you want to...
I'm a snacker.
So we give Our network is a bunch of snacks, and if you have anything you see that you want to binge, just go to reachtv.com and then binge it.
Yeah.
So that's
brilliant concept.
that's
You are a
where we're
smart
going.
man. I got to tell you. Talk
I
a little
surround
bit.
myself with smart people, and then I can pretend like I'm
You
smart.
do. Well, you know what? It's all a whole village, right? I mean, if you're a smart guy, you got to surround yourself with smart people. You all work together because this is a big deal what you've done.
It's called my wife. She's probably the smartest one of the
Oh, I
group.
love that. What's your wife's name?
Annette.
Shout out to you, Annette.
Yes.
You got a nice husband here.
She's a smarter one.
How long have you been married?
We've been together since we met at the opening of Tao. So that's
Which
how
Tao?
long. The Tao, the original Tao.
Oh, wow.
So we met at the opening of that.
When was that?
Yeah,
When
it
was
was.
that?
I don't even know. That was a long time
It
ago.
was so long ago.
And then we worked. We were friends, and then we got
It's always the
married.
best
Like,
way.
well, I don't know. We moved out here. I think we're married 6 years. I'm going to get yelled at, but we've been together forever. So I say we're married like 10 plus years. So, but our real date was probably 6 years. We got married at the Montage in Beverly Hills.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
But you're from where? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Middletown, New Jersey.
Middletown, because I'm a Jersey girl too.
Yes,
I
Jersey's
recognized your cell phone number too.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute, you from New Jersey?
Yes.
Whenever I talk to Jersey people, I get my Jersey accent
Exactly.
going.
It automatically happens. When I first came out here, everybody called me New York.
Really? You?
For two reasons.
Well,
One,
you talk fast.
One, because I talk fast, and two, because I don't really like a lot of times to have meetings.
Yeah.
That was an LA thing that I wasn't used to.
Yeah, I
So I
know.
used to call people out for fun.
Oh, really? Us back east people get each other. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
it
We
was
just
fun.
have sort of a sense of humor, and we're
Yeah.
not taking it too seriously. Yeah. How do you like it out here?
I love it.
Yeah,
But
me too.
The more the older I get, the more I like to be in warmer weather. So when I wake up, I'm not as achy.
I love it here, but I also love New York. Not
Yeah.
in Jersey, no, because if I'm going to be in a car going someplace, I'd rather just be here in LA, just because. But New York, I love
Yeah,
it.
so we split our time between New York and LA.
Yeah.
My wife's a CMO of a fashion company, and she
What company?
I'm not allowed to say now because she
Okay,
just
it's okay.
switched to a new one. But she's been in that world for 20 plus years as well.
Oh, so, okay. So a guy who grew up in Middletown, New Jersey. You also worked in retail. I mean, you're a
Yes.
smart business guy. You went to Westchester University in Pennsylvania, which is exactly where my assistant Kaylee went. She aptly told me before it started. She goes, "Oh my God, I went there too." So good company. So you went there and you studied business.
Yes.
But you took it so far. I mean, so it was basically sales that gave you a lot of this experience?
Yeah, I had strong. We didn't grow up with a lot of stuff, but I had strong parents and strong. I'd say community leaders from cops that would yell at us and get us, but they always kept us in line. I played
Well, I know
sports.
that town. It's
Yeah.
a good small town. People
And-
kind of know each other. Sports always helps.
Yeah, sports. And our neighborhood was, that's why I just try to tell people, our neighborhood was, everybody was your parent.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was like the old school way of having a neighborhood, and it stills in you for the rest of your life.
I don't find that as much in LA, though. I will tell you.
You don't find that in LA
You
at all.
don't.
That's the problem.
Maybe in certain communities, but you don't. A lot of people go to private schools. A lot of people are bussed into their schools, and I find it very, very difficult.
I'll give you my own opinion on that, which
Yeah.
is, I think that the parents have changed, not the kids as much.
I think you're right. I also think we're too segregated. There's this neighborhood and then that neighborhood and this neighborhood. And because there's really no public transit,
Yeah.
nobody really sees everybody walking
Yeah.
around. You're all in this little car.
I mean, we live on 3rd Street over between the Beverly Center and the Grove, so
Oh, we're
I
kinda
literally
neighbors, yeah.
I walk everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the few people in LA that doesn't really drive.
Oh no! I walk
Everywhere,
everywhere
yeah.
to the point where I live in the Brentwood area, and friends of mine will see me down in Venice. They're like, "Did you walk
Yeah.
here?" I'm like, I do my errands on foot.
Yeah,
and I just carry them home.
I mean, we got the Target on one end, we got Whole Foods in the other, we got the farmers market there, so it's really not much to.
So you're a
to
humble
miss it.
guy, but
Yeah.
a smart guy. I mean,
Yeah.
you said that you were working with e-commerce back in 1996, right?
We launched a company with me, David Bobadilla is a young kid that worked for me,
Yeah.
and a buddy of mine who wanted to learn business. That was my three of us, launched in Cherry Hill. In a small little office.
Yeah, but how much did
And
you
then-
make off that company?
And then we grew it inside of 3 years. We brought everybody back, and we had that. Our division was doing 40, and then we turned it around to do 60 million. And then we merged with our biggest supplier, and that became a $100 million company that was sold to a public company at the time to create a new IPO, and then of course the bubble busted. I tell you, I learned a lot from that one. On that was, I still have the stock certificates.
Wow. So you held on to them.
Yeah, they don't mean anything, but it also is a
No,
key
I
to me
know.
to sometimes like something on paper doesn't really mean as much as you think it does.
Yeah.
So I keep it every now and then. I like to look at it and learn from it.
Do you work a lot with young people?
Yeah, I work with, I think I just work with good people.
Yeah.
So if they're young, old, it doesn't matter to me.
No, I mean to lend your experience to young people.
Oh yeah, and I mean I do a lot of mentoring.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that I'm really tight with that do it themselves. They're better at it than me. I just come in and help whenever they ask me to.
Yeah, because you really went up from the beginning, but you're a smart guy. I mean, like you said, surround with good people, but you're a real smart man. And
You ever heard of Cutco knives? Do you guys ever Cutco knives? Cutco, they're the
Cutco.
Yes, yeah, Cutco knives. Right?
I thought you said Coco.
No.
Coco.
Cutco knives, and so I remember in college, you're not allowed to have the job this way. So during the summer, I did that.
What, you sold them?
Yeah, sold those. I sold 25,000 in the summer.
Where? How?
In Jersey. So I was good at that.
Like
talking
door to
people.
door?
Well, it's not. You go to your friends and family, and they give you other people referral. But yes, it's essentially door to door with a nice intro. But anybody who worked there, I'll tell you what we all have in common. If I run into somebody who worked there, they can tell you what their closing percentage was, what their average sale was, and what their time was at every presentation. Mine was 93%, $383 in 75 minutes. So I knew all those things, and it taught you the discipline to do that. So that was back in college. So those are sort of the organization of selling that kind of you learn from something like Cutco knives that you would never think would drive somebody to do that.
Hey, before we let you go, do we have a quick clip of Reach TV?
We do, yes.
Can we just run that? Like you said, you pick your channel. If it's on your phone, you pick your channel. If you're in the airport, you watch what's already been selected. But it's fast moving, very interesting, and just a brilliant concept. Local content. What about local content like out of LA? Do you have certain shows only out of LA? So what do? You have reporters, you have interviewers.
Oh no, there's so many content partners that are around, and travel is a big part of our partners. Talking about the Hearst of the world, and these companies are selling their magazines in there. They have an entire network of that is hyper local. So that's one of our bigger partners. So we get content from them. We get it from Refinery 29. We get it from the Pure Wows, all localized or regionalized, really cool content. And remember, I will say something that most people don't think about, but New York, LA, Chicago, these aren't local. These are global cities.
Yeah, no, I know.
So the ability to have a New York, and we always look at every airport and say, what's the top 5 destinations out of that airport? So if you're in LA, that means New York, Vegas, Atlanta. So we know where the cities that somebody from LA is going. So we try to also program that type of content as well.
Oh, are you global? Or where else are you?
U.S. and Canada right now. By this time next year, we'll be in 35 different countries.
Oh.
We'll be reaching probably 400 million people online, and we will be in probably 20 different languages as well.
Oh, that is outstanding. I wish you all the success.
Thank you.
I really, really do. This is really brilliant. Reach TV. And for those of you who want to check it out, just put reachtv.com. Go to the website, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Very
and anybody
easy.
have an idea, want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
There's a contact right on there.
Right there at reachtv.com. I want to really say thank you for making the time.
Yep, of
because
course.
you weren't in LA for a real long time, and I texted you either yesterday or today, and I said, hey, am I going to see you at 1? You thought, uh-oh. So we just made it happen.
Yes, make it happen. That's what we all do, right?
That
make
is
it
what
happen.
we all do. You're really a man of your word.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it, and a very smart gentleman. ReachTV.com, in airports, on your phone, and everywhere. So everybody, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time at Deborah Kobylt Live. Bye-bye.